Welcome back to the Rodcast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a Muslim who has been detained by ICE in Texas. And now we have the media there, more than anything else, simping for this guy, which we're going to look at some of the videos here. And we have a whole bunch of Muslims, who, too many, in my opinion, who we let in. We should not have let any of these people in, including this guy. This is the problem with all these visas that we're accepting, all these work visas, student visas. All of these visas have to be gotten rid of because we're letting too many foreigners in. And after they're let in, they never, ever want to leave. This guy overstayed his work visa, and that's the reason that he was eventually arrested, civilly arrested by immigration officers, and is now slated for deportation. But we got the media crying about it. The written media also, Newsweek here did a bleeding heart article, and multiple news outlets in Texas are covering this in a pro-illegal way, as they always do. After your visa has expired, you are an illegal and you can be deported. Okay, so look at this title. Beloved Dallas Muslim community leader detained by ICE after decades of service in North Texas. Yes, service spreading his horrible Islamic religion. Yes, great service in Texas. So the title is part of how you message what your perspective is. Okay, on YouTube, that's how it works. On social media, that's how it works. The title tells people where the person who's presenting this video stands. Like if you look at my titles, you can tell that I'm anti-immigration, and that's exactly my position. I want people to know that. Okay, so there you signal what you're about with your titles. Okay, now I am not a news station. Okay, I'm a guy on YouTube who gives my opinion on current events and legal issues having to do with immigration. I have never claimed to be a neutral person. I have my opinion. Okay, everybody knows it. It's in the beginning of my title sequence. When I do my intro, it says what I'm all about. Okay, I'm not trying to hide the ball. These news outlets pretend to be neutral observers of what's happening in these communities and delivering neutral and objective news to the residents who watch this channel. Okay, that's what these local outlets pretend to do, but they don't. They are clearly on the side of the Muslim who's being detained here and against ICE. Okay, that is not a neutral position. So just say we support illegals. Okay, if you say that out front, then people know what they're getting. I am against any immigration. I say that in all my videos. I scream it from the rooftops because I hate foreigners coming into America, and everybody knows that's my position. So don't lie. That's my issue with these local news outlets. Okay, and more than that, I have an issue with any of these people coming into my country. That's another reason I make these videos, because I'm sick of these foreigners.
Yeah, 3 decades, 30 years. That's how long Marwan Maroof has called Dallas home, according to those who know.
Yeah, that's 30 years too long, bro. 30 years too long. He should have never been allowed to come into this country. Okay, I don't want a single Muslim here. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, 3 decades, 30 years. That's how long Marwan Maroof has called Dallas home, according to those who know him best here at the Muslim American Society of Dallas in Richardson. A father, a scout leader, a volunteer with the American Red Cross, and someone who was heavily involved with MAS.
Look at that. Look at the accolades that he just listed off. Okay. First of all, this was never his home. This was a pit stop. Okay. America is not his home. He's from Palestine or some other Middle Eastern crap hole, which he needs to go back to, and he will be shipped back now that he's been arrested. Okay. No matter what the Muslim American Legal Fund says, he's going to be deported.
After dropping his son off at school, ICE agents pulled him over and took him into custody. That's according to the Muslim Legal Fund of America. They say Maroof has been fighting for a green card for years, a case they say is built on his decades of community service. But on the same day he was detained, MLFA says he was handed a denial notice by agents. The group calls that decision unfair. Tuesday night, supporters...
No, what's unfair is that this Muslim piece of was ever allowed to enter America. That is not fair to me. And notice that the women are segregated from the men in this Muslim service. Okay, so this is what they want to bring to America. Okay, and there's some, lunatic Catholics like Nick Fuentes, Mexican galore, who wants this stuff because he loves the woman-hating ways of Islam. I don't. Okay, any civilized Northern European person will be against this, but this is what they want. Okay, Muslims and Catholics have something in common. They all hate women. Okay, and I hate them because of that. The men and the women are segregated in this room because men and women can't handle sitting together, according to them.
Holding. Türkiye.
Sitting together in a pew, by the way, okay, not out, not in any other circumstance, but in public like this. Okay, these are the kind of lunatics that these visa programs lay into our country, woman-hating scumbags.
Unfair. Tuesday night, supporters gathered at MAS Dallas here in Richardson to pray, to unite after what's happened. It normally isn't a service here on Tuesday night. This is all for Maruf.
You can pray to Allah all you want, but in this world, USCIS, ICE, and Homeland Security is superior to your God. Okay? Your God has no influence here. This is America. Our law is supreme here. And your man broke our laws, and now he's going to get his Muslim ass dragged out of here. That's the bottom line. Keep praying all you want. He's still getting dragged.
Faye points to Maruf's service in Dallas, helping build the largest Boy Scout troop in North Dallas, leading drug awareness campaigns for kids and serving as a disaster relief first responder. The organization says it's now taking his case to both immigration and federal court, and while lawyers fight in front of a judge, a Dallas community waits, wondering if it will lose a leader it has known for decades.
Yes, the answer is yes. Your leader is going to be lost because he's going to be going back to his country because he should have never been allowed here in the first place. We need to Trump needs to abolish these student mother effing visas because it's letting terrorists into our country as well as other kinds of dangerous people. Okay, Mahmoud Khalil is getting his Palestinian ass deported out of here, and it's a good thing too. I don't want the Muslims or the Jews here. I want both of them gone. So I have no sympathy for any of these people. Okay.
I mean, the number of people here today, it's a testament to how many people's whose lives he's touched.
My dad has given his heart, his soul, this time, this everything for the last 30 years for this community, and not just the Dallas Muslim community, but the Dallas community as a whole. It's just sad.
Yeah, there are barely any white people here or black people. So give me a break about how he's contributed. It's only a bunch of Muslims here. He's only contributed to his own people. And that's fine, by the way. You should build up your own people, but you don't belong here. Your people belongs in your Middle Eastern Muslim country, not in America. America is not a Middle Eastern Muslim country. This is a Northern European country. Okay, built by a variety of people with a variety of different religions, mostly Christian. But nevertheless, this is not a Muslim country in any way, shape, or form. So your man doesn't belong here. Your godfather is so great. Go with him back to Palestine and try to make that country great.
We reached out to ICE to learn more about Maruf's detainment. So far, no word yet from them.
And you're not going to get any words, bro. And you can bleed your hearts out for this freaking Muslim all you want. You're not going to get anything. All right, another one.
Now, a North Texas man who spent decades building his life here is in ICE custody.
Yeah, this morning, his family and friends.
He is not a North Texas man. Stop saying that. This is like the Maryland man bullshit. Okay, just because he lives there, he is not a native there. He was not born there. His ancestors didn't build that land. He is not a North Texas man.
Now, a North Texas man who spent decades building his life here is in ICE custody.
Yeah, this morning, his family and friends and his community that he has served for years are demanding some answers as Chris Oddie is live today.
Yeah, his community nor him have any right to demand anything. He's not an American, and USCIS doesn't owe anybody any answers. He overstayed his visa by 15 years of living illegally in this country. And finally, he's being punished for his civil violation. Okay, as he should be.
Yes, Mark, we have contacted ICE trying to get more information and clarity on the detainment of a man that friends say has spent the last 30 years here in the U.S. raising his family and also is a valuable member of the community and was suddenly detained. The friends that we talked to got together last night for a prayer in support of Marwan Maruf, the get-together organized by the Muslim Legal Fund of America. They tell us that Maruf was one of the leaders with the Dallas chapter of the Muslim American Society and had just dropped off his...
There is no such thing as a Muslim American. Okay, that is an oxymoron.
...son at school on Monday when he was suddenly stopped by ICE agents. The Muslim Legal Fund tells us Maruf came to the U.S. more than 30 years ago as a student, started a family, spent the last 6 years trying to get permanent residence while his employer sponsored his work. But recently, the government began questioning his charitable activity, and the day he was detained, he was presented a denial of his green card. His son was at the prayer and said between being a scout leader, a Red Cross volunteer, and other charity work, his dad was always trying to help others.
Dad,
Yes, yes, everybody's a valedictorian whenever they get deported. Everybody's been trying for decades to get legalized on the day that he's been deported. Whenever any of these illegals are arrested, they were the greatest person ever. None of these white people know anything about this guy, by the way. Okay. They just assume, oh, he's not white. He's an immigrant, so we must love him, and we're just going to pretend that he's the greatest guy ever. And I got news for you. Deacons at freaking churches have been caught being child molesters. So it doesn't matter what good works they do. Okay, lots of criminals do charity work. Lots of rich criminals actually do a lot of charity work because they're trying to hide the fact that they're so horrible in other aspects of their lives. So don't give me this crap about how great he was and what he did. I don't care. This is not about his moral character. I don't care if he's a nice guy. He doesn't belong in America. That's the point. Okay. He should never been let into my country. That's the point. He wasn't born here. His ancestors aren't from here, and he doesn't belong here. He has a country. He's not like he fell out of the sky. And by the way, it's very weird that they don't say where he's from. Okay. He looks like a Moroccan to me, but you can't always go by looks. And one of the comments in one of these articles said that he is Palestinian. One of the journalists who were commenting on this said that, but none of the news videos that I watch from these local networks ever say where he's originally from, which is very weird because usually they just say that, he was originally from this country, whatever, right? But in this video, they intentionally don't say that. They just say, oh, he has a student visa and he came to America in the 1990s, and that's it. Doesn't say where he came from, which is very weird.
has given his heart, his soul, this time, is everything for the last 30 years for this community, and not just the Dallas Muslim community, but the Dallas community as a whole. It's just sad to see.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a repeat from the other video. But anyways, yes, it's very sad to see that it took 15 years for the authorities to finally deport this guy. That's the only sad thing for me here. Okay, that he wasn't deported fast enough. I don't want any of you here, and you can do your good works back in your own countries. I don't know why random people across the world think that they can build that they can break into the country that was built by the ancestors of people like myself and many other Americans who are sick of all these foreigners coming here. Okay, I don't know why everybody thinks that they somehow have the right to break into America, but you do not have any rights here. Okay, you have temporary privileges, which have now been revoked. Okay, so now you're going to be on the next plane back to Morocco or Palestine or wherever the hell you came from. Okay, but you did not come from here. He is not a North Texas man, and soon he's not going to be on American soil at all. And it's a great day in America. And that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys all in my next one, as always.